This is the first video which I'll be recording with live commentary. I have my keyboard shortcuts showing on screen like this, and I'll be showing you how I create this quite basic but also interesting small railroad building. I'm not sure how it will look yet, but I have some ideas and I'll show you step by step as I go through it. So let's get started. By the way, did you know that Blender is available on Steam? You can simply go to the store and search for Blender, and it's very nice because you can simply update it like any other game. You don't have to go to the Blender website and download every update from there. When you open Blender, you will have this scene. I select the cube and press Ctrl I to invert the selection, then I press X to delete everything. The first thing I like to do is to make a basic block out of the building. This helped me to get all my ideas into Blender without spending too much time on unnecessary details or anything. I like to keep it super basic. This allows me to try different ideas and see how it looks. So to start making the block out, I select the cube and let's move it up, so G and Z, and I hold Ctrl to snap it to increments like this. Then I set the origin to the 3D cursor. This just makes it a bit easier to scale it without the floor plane also changing. Next, I'll scale the cube to be the dimensions I want my building to be. For the X I'm gonna do 4.5 and for the Y 7.5, like this. And the height, let's just do 3.5 for now. Then I tap into edit mode and add a loop cut like this. Then I select the top two vertices and move them up by 1 to create a roof like this. I feel like the roof is a bit too high, so let's move it down G minus 0.5 on the Z axis, like so. Also, don't forget to save. I'm gonna call this small railroad storage shed, like so. Next I tap out of edit mode, and to have some reference for scale I'll add in a cube and scale it to an average human size. Let's just align this to the floor. Now I'll start adding doors and windows. I'm gonna separate the roof, so select these and press P and separate them by selection. Tab out of edit mode, and for now, let's think. I'm gonna move this one in, GG, to slide it, and I just slide it in like this. Something like that. Then I want to add I want to move this face inward, so to do that I enable auto merge vertices and extrude this face in, and with snapping enabled I snap it to the middle edge. But to get rid of these weird faces, simply select them and delete only faces. And delete faces like this. And let's move this. At this stage I'm not at all worried about having good topology. I only want to get the basic shape of the building. Let's dissolve this edge, select this and C to disable the clamp to bring it out a bit more. Let's bring back the roof. Let's bring it out a bit more. So GG and C to disable the clamp. I feel like this is good. By the way, I don't need this middle edge anymore, so in X-ray mode, by the way, the keyboard shortcut for X-ray mode is Alt Z. In X-ray mode, I select this middle edge and dissolve it. And I do the same for this side. Next, in orthographic view, I'm gonna add a loop cut like this and scale it on the Z axis. G and Z to move it up. Something like this. I feel like the roof is still a bit too high, so I'm gonna move it down In X-ray mode, select the top vertices like this and G to move them down. Now to line up the roof again, select the roof and press G and Z. And with snapping enabled, it's very easy to snap it to the walls. Just like that. Actually, let's delete this. So let's do delete and faces. Select that one, and duplicate it. P selection. Then select the edge and extrude it on the axis and snap it to the roof like this. I can also give it some thickness by extruding it downwards for like 0.2 minus 0.2, 0.3 maybe. We'll tweak it later. This tells me the faces are inverted. So in this menu you can turn on the face orientation. And you can see the floor is red. That means the face normals are inverted. So press A to select everything and then press Shift N to recalculate the normals to outside. You can also press Alt N to bring up the normals menu. Next I want to add some pillars as support for the roof. Add in a cube and press / to focus on it like this. Then S and Shift Z to scale on all axes excluding the Z axis. Yeah, something like that. / again. And let's snap it to the floor plan. In the snapping menu I like to change the snap base from closest to active. This allows me to snap a model with an active vertex to a corner just like this. Let's add an array modifier. There we go. Let's apply the array modifier and make sure this is lined up just like that. In X-ray mode I go into the side orthographic view and extrude them up a bit more. Actually, let's first move them down a bit. And let's connect these parts. So select these faces and then right click, and with the loop tools add-in you can simply press bridge. And let's repeat that for the other side. I'm not gonna worry about lining this up with the roof because I'll give the roof some thickness later and then it won't be lined up anyway. So we'll worry about that later. Let's hide the roof, and now let's select this edge and snap it to the same height as this. At this stage I simply add in more loop cuts and delete faces to create doors and windows and dissolve the extra. Yeah, this is the basic block out done. I'm quite happy with this. I might add another pillar, but I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna keep it just like this. The main purpose of making this was figuring out the window placement and the door placement. I feel like this will be a nice little storage shed thing you can put on the side of your railroad. Not sure yet, but I'm quite happy with this. I like the 2 doors and the small windows, not too many windows for this type of thing. Not sure if I'll have the doors open, maybe one of them open, we'll see. After making the block out model like this and you are happy with everything, it's time to start adding the bricks. I start by hiding unwanted things like the roof, this and the floor plan. So we are left with this. Then in object mode, Shift A and add a cube. Now this will be the brick. So select the brick and press /, and I scale this down quite a lot. Increase the scale on the y-axis. Then scale this to whatever size brick you want to use. I also add a loop cut in edit mode to have square faces like this, instead of having this as one face. This just makes it a bit easier to add more detail later. This is just so when you subdivide it later, like this, it's all squares instead of being rectangles. But don't subdivide it yet, keep it just like this. We don't want to add unnecessary geometry at this stage. So in side view, select everything and duplicate it like this. Then add an array modifier, set it to 1 on the z-axis. I have to scale it way down. Let's snap it to the floor plane. I've noticed that the height of a door has about 21 bricks. Yeah, this is 20 bricks. I have 20 bricks right now, which is the height of a door, which would be realistic, but I want to increase the scale a bit, so it's about 16. I like to exaggerate the scale of bricks and the gap between the bricks quite a bit for printing in HO scale. Otherwise, if you make it exactly the same as in real life, it won't look as good. Next, I add in another array modifier on the y-axis, like so. And now it's simply a matter of fine-tuning the gaps between the bricks until you are happy. I want this edge to be about in the middle of this gap, and I also want these gaps to be even. This gap looks a bit too small. Let's try this. Let's increase this to 40. There we go, this looks nice. Before applying the array modifiers, make sure to make a backup copy. Simply select it and Shift D, and I put it in a new collection called backups. Like so. Then simply hide the collection like this. Next, I rename everything. Let's disable the roof and stuff again. Yep, like so. Now, first I'm gonna duplicate this and apply the array modifiers. Hide this one for now. I think I'm gonna start with this wall, going into side view. I press A to select everything and snap it to. In object mode, I set the origin to geometry. In side view with X-ray mode enabled, I select the unwanted bricks like so and control number pad plus to grab the selection. X delete. I'm not gonna delete the top ones yet because I want to use this bricks for this wall as well and this wall. Again, grab the selection, X delete the vertices. Now I can delete the unwanted top. Then I duplicate the middle brick selection like this and rotate it on the Z axis by 90 degrees. Dude, my wrists are hurting so bad. The next step will be to align all the corners and make it look nice. This can be quite challenging, but once you figure out how to do it, it's quite easy. How I like to do it to make it look nice. It's impossible to have all the bricks line up perfectly for this corner and this corner. So what I do is I prioritize this corner looking nice instead of this one, which would be in the inside and not really visible. Step 1 is I hide the frame. With all the corners of the bricks nicely fixed like this, I'm gonna select all of them and press Ctrl J to join them together, and then set the origin to the 3D cursor. Next, bring back the roof, and let's increase this a bit. Scale on the Y-axis, and also GG to slide and C to disable the clamp. Something like this. Let's bring back the floor and go into the Z top view. Like so. Select the bricks, add a Boolean, and select the roof. At the moment it's cutting the wrong side, so let's flip the normals of the roof, like so. So let's apply the Boolean, hide the roof, and let's see. Let's select the mesh and go to the 3D printing and check all. We don't have any non-manifold edges, which is good. To fix these n-gons, press A to select all, Ctrl T to triangulate, and Alt J to make all quads again. To clean this up a bit, with auto merge vertices enabled, I select faces like this, which is too pointy for 3D printing. Press GG to slide them up and simply merge them into the other edge like this. And for bricks like this, which is very small, I just select everything and delete it. There's no need in having bricks that's this small. There we go. Fixed all the errors. Perfecto. Okay, let's bring back the pillars and this bricks. Let's make another duplicate. Hide it. Let's see. Let's move this up a bit. Something like that. Actually, let's remove the array modifiers from the bricks and move it origin to geometry. Let's increase the scale just a bit. Move it over. Get it in the middle of the pillar. Now for this one, let's select the linked. Rotate it on the Z by 90 degrees. Go to top view and press G and Shift Z and line it up like this. Let's select the top one as well. Shift D to duplicate and R and Z by 180. And now let's line it up. Again press Shift Z like that. Awesome. G, Y. Now let's add an array modifier and let's see. Let's increase the Z offset, not perfecto. That's better. Let's do that. Shift D on the Y axis. Something like that. Duplicate again. G and Y. Let's zoom in. Turn on snapping again. And there we go. Let's apply these modifiers. Ctrl J to join all of them together. Loop tools, bridge. Same for this side. Loop tools, bridge. There we go. Let's bring back the bricks back up. Make another duplicate H to hide it. With this selected, let's decrease the height. Let's apply the modifiers, set the origin to geometry, select everything, move it down, delete the unwanted vertices. Let's snap this, make half bricks of these. Awesome. To cut out the doors and windows, I select the basic blockout I made and Alt Shift select all of the frames like this. With all of them selected, press Shift D and P to separate them by selection. I can now hide this and only select this part we just copied. Let's select all of them that's on the X-axis. Go into X-ray mode, select all of them, and then extrude on the X-axis like this, maybe not that much, and select all except this one, and then G to move it so it's fully intersecting with the wall like this. To make the Boolean work, we'll have to fill in these faces and all of these faces. So simply select them and press F to fill. Select all, Shift N to recalculate outside, and let's check for errors. Okay, here is one. Dissolve this edge, and now it's only this one. Extrude this one on the y-axis and select the linked, and also move it so it's intersecting fully with the wall, just like this. Fill the open faces, and now all of the faces are filled, and that looks good. Before doing the Boolean operation, apply all the transformations. Select the bricks which you want to cut and add the Boolean modifier, and then simply select the cutter objects, just like this. Before applying this modifier, I'm actually gonna remove it first and make a duplicate of the bricks as it is, like this, and put it in the backup collection. And now add the modifier again and select the cutters and apply it. Now I hide the cutter objects and all of the windows are cut. Let's check the mesh for any errors. And again select all, Ctrl T to triangulate and Alt J to trace everything back to quads, just like this. This should fix most of the weird thin faces. Let's see. I don't know what is causing this. Anyway, not much to worry about. 0 faces. Yeah, this is a bit weird. So to fix this, I will try to add a loop cut like this. Still not fixed. Let's subdivide this, and this side as well. Subdivide. Actually, select all and press M to merge by distance. 0 vertices merged. Let's see. Oh, here we have exactly the same problem. In edge select the problem edge, which is this one, and right click to subdivide, go into vertex select and simply snap it to this edge. And the same for this side. Where is it? There it is. Subdivide, vertex select and snap it to this vertex. There we go. Everything fixed. I don't really like to delete things, so I just move them to the backups folder, like so. And this as well. The next step will be making the corrugated iron roofing. So to do that, let's add a plane and press / to focus on it. Then in top view, I select the bottom 2 vertices and I'll move them by, let's say, -3, something like this, maybe a bit less, like this. Then I'll add some loop cuts, Ctrl R to add loop cuts, and I'll add 16 loop cuts to have 8 corrugations. Then I select every other loop cut like this and press G and Z to move them up on the Z axis, just like this. Maybe a bit more. Again, exaggerating the effect just a little bit for printing. Then I select all of these edges and press Ctrl B, but to stop them from intersecting like this, press C, and I'll add 4 segments. I'll also add, let's say, 4 loop cuts like this. To give it thickness, you could use a solidify modifier like this and increase the thickness, but as soon as you add a little bit too much thickness, it will start intersecting like this. So instead I will select the boundary loops like this and simply extrude it down like so. But we don't need a detail on the underside, so to flatten it out, simply scale it on the z-axis by 0. Give it a little bit more thickness. Click Alt and then select the boundary loops like this. Then search for grid fill in the F3 menu, just like this. Now let's check for any errors. Merge by distance, like so, and all of the errors are fixed. To make it tileable, I add the array modifier, enable proportional editing, scroll down, / to bring back the race, and rotate it by 90 on the z-axis, and at the moment it's way too large, so let's scale it down, move it up by 4 for now. But first I have to give the roof some thickness, so select the two faces, E and Z. Yeah, let's try 0.3, select all, Shift N to recalculate outside. Now I can start to line this up. Set the origin to geometry. And simply line it up. Add another array modifier. Let's also move it to the side a bit. Mirror modifier on the x-axis. What? Select the floor plan and on the x-axis. Actually, let's not select the floor plan but the roof part. There we go. Next up, let's make the roofing bolts. I don't know what's the correct name. I don't know what's the specific name in English, but I'm just gonna call it roofing bolts, roof bolts, I don't know. Anyway, add a cylinder, let's move it up for now, and scale it down even more. Let's move it to this one. Inset, scale, disable proportional editing, extrude, scale down. I think that's good enough. It will be so small anyway. Yep, that's perfectly fine. Select all, scale, rotate it. And also add a array modifier, and let's rotate it up. Let's add another array modifier, set this to the y-axis. I think this is okay. Let's center it. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, let's first apply the array modifiers. Not on the roof. Now we can join all of this to this part, like so. Then to make a... Dude, I have no idea what it's called in English. Again, let's add a cylinder. Let's do 16 vertices. View it from the side, GZ, and let's scale it on the y-axis. No idea if this will even be visible in the final product, but I guess it's worth trying. Next I select the roof parts and Shift D and put it in the backups collection. Then I apply the modifiers, apply this one, join this together, recalculate to outside. Next I'm gonna separate everything by loose parts, but first I make a new collection. Let's call it roof for now. Let's put this in the roof collection. In edit mode, press A and P and then separate by loose parts. Tab out of edit mode, and with everything selected, go to Object, Transform and Randomize Transform. This is a bit fiddly. Holding Shift, I slightly adjust the location on the X and the Y, and a tiny bit on the Z. Also, oh yeah, before doing this, let me first reset everything to 0 again. Like so, because otherwise it will transform all of them from one pivot point like this. So set the origin to geometry and then it will transform them like this, but randomly. With everything still selected, go to Object, Transform, Randomize Transform, and then slightly adjust this. I think that's good enough for now. So I select everything and join them together again. It will have many bad intersecting faces now, but after booleaning everything together, it should be good. Let's just check it anyway. No non-manifold edges, which is good, but yeah, a ton of intersecting faces. This is probably way too dense. I should have decreased the resolution. Anyway, I think I'm happy with this, so let's hide it for now. And this as well. And let's make the inner wall that will connect all of the bricks together, so it's actually printable. It's basically gonna be the same as this, but booleaned together correctly, unlike this. Anyway, let's hide this for now, and hide this. Actually, I think it will be faster to start by using the reference frame. Let's move it to the main collection. So to move the wall inward so it looks like the mortar, I go to top view in X-ray mode, select a wall, and for this one I need to move it on the y-axis and I'm gonna do 0.05 for each wall. So for this one, again select it in X-ray mode and G, and for this on the X by 0.05 on the minus, and simply repeat it for all the walls. Now we just need to give it thickness on the inside. To do this, I select these vertices and extrude it on the y-axis by 0.1. No, let's do 0.2 on the minus and move it 0.2. Yeah. Then I select this and extrude it on the x-axis by 0.2. Extrude this. Let's turn on snapping and move it to snap. Yeah, let's disable the bricks for this, otherwise it will snap to the bricks, which we don't want. So move this up, GZ, like so. This one needs to be connected to there with the face. Before doing it on this side, I make sure to dissolve any unwanted edges like these. So select this, extrude it 0.2 on the x-axis and move it 0.2 on the y-axis. Extrude it upwards and snapping it to those. Filling this face, this face. have some inside faces. Let's delete them. Check again. Let's fix this. Fix this. Select all, Shift N. Delete these inside faces. That's better. Now it's just a matter of filling in the wall until it's all complete. Oh yeah, I adjusted the walls to fit the bricks without adjusting the roof. So I'll have to tweak this. See, I can't change it, otherwise the bricks won't fit anymore. So for now, let's delete these vertices. Actually, let's make a backup and rename it to cutter. Hide the roof one and delete this. Select the wall part, add a Boolean and select this as a cutter, like that. There we go. Now we'll just have to fix this. Like so. Join this. Join this. Select this face, Ctrl T, Ctrl J. Select all, and no errors. Let's go. Let's see if the roof still fits. And bring back. Let's go into side view. X-ray mode and select all of them. Ctrl plus to grow the selection. I think that's all. Yep. And let's just move them up. Something like this. Also bring back the pillars and the floor plan. I'll fix the floor plan later. Actually, let's do it right now. Select this corner G and Shift Z. Select this corner G, Shift Z, G, Shift Z. Next, let's cut the roof. Set the origin to geometry and apply the scale. Oh boy, I should have saved before doing this. I never learn. Dude, I always make this mistake. Yeah. Nope. Not working today. Let's scrap this. Delete that. Actually, let's take this and let's try to do this. Let's try this. Save and then add Boolean and select the cutters. What's going on, man? Wait, a fast Boolean is working. What the hell? Let's make a backup copy first. GY. Let's see if I can line it up so it doesn't cut through bolts. I think that's working. Let's apply. Let's fill the obvious holes, like so. This is filled. Interesting. Let's try again. Only 2 non-manifold edges. What? And let's delete this edge. What is this doing? And this one. Delete edge. Is that it? Yep, that was it. Okay, next I have to cut this part. Oh boy. I think I can do this better manually, to be honest. Let's just fill this and check. I should just do this manually. Yeah, let's undo. Let's delete the cutters. Save. Go into side view. And let's see. If I delete this. What's that? No clue. Anyway, be gone. 10 non-manifold edges. This isn't filled yet. There we go. Okay, X-ray mode. Select this. Let's go circle select, because I do not want to select any of this. Select this. Right click to cancel circle select, and let's simply drag it out a bit. Check the mesh again. I feel like mirroring this to the other side, but to be honest, I think I can just do this. Zero non-manifold edges. There we go. My next worry will be booleaning this together. Let's make a backup, put it in the backups folder, and I'm gonna join this together like so, and then add a geometry node and press new, then add a window, geometry node editor, and add a mesh boolean. Change it from difference to union and from float to exact. This is gonna take a while to compute. Okay, save, and let's convert it to a mesh to apply the modifier. With the mesh boolean in the geometry nodes applied, I'm gonna check the mesh. I think it's gonna be full of errors, but let's hope for the best. What? No non-manifold edges? Intersecting faces? Interesting. Let's select all, Ctrl T to triangulate, and Ctrl J to make it quads again. And I think it has actually done a really good job. And I'm at 150 triangles. I mean 150,000 triangles. I actually think it would be better to join everything together at once to avoid joining more mesh, more geometry to a mesh that looks like this. So let's undo. Let's delete that for now and finish the building. Delete this one. Yeah, next I'll have to add the gutters and make the door frames, window frames, make this floor more interesting, and Boolean everything together. So that's next. But I think I'll do that in part 2. So click on the screen right now and I'll see you in part 2.